Come on in here. Welcome to Brownie's Rugby Bunker. Hey, welcome to Brownie's Rugby Bunker, the one place in the world where the rugby-centric view of the universe prevails at all times.
Jesus can't play rugby because he's got holes in his hands.
Jesus can't play rugby because he's got holes in his hands. Jesus can't play rugby because he's got holes in his hands. Jesus saves, Jesus saves, Jesus saves.
Jesus can't play rugby because he's only got 12 friends.
Jesus can't play rugby because he's only got 12 friends. Jesus can't play rugby because he's only got 12 friends. Jesus saves, Jesus saves, Jesus saves.
Jesus can't play 8-man because the thorns get in the way.
Jesus can't play 8-man because the thorns get in the way. Jesus can't play 8-man because the thorns get in the way. Jesus saves, Jesus saves, Jesus saves.
Brownie's Rugby Bunker. We'll be right back after this.
Media Zone Rugby is brought to you by World Rugby Shop, your destination for all Rugby World Cup 2007 gear with jerseys for every participating nation. Visit worldrugbyshop.com today to get your France 2007 gear.
David Kirk, New Zealand. Nick Farr-Jones, Australia. Francois Pinard, South Africa. John Eales, Australia. Martin Johnson, England. Who will captain this year's winner in Paris, France? Be a part of the biggest celebration of the world's greatest game. Visit worldrugbyshop.com today and get ready.
Welcome back to Brownie's Rugby Bunker at the 2007 Rugby World Cup.
One of the best things about World Cup is that you can go on tour with your club. Now, my club is the Missoula All-Maggots. With me now, Mama Chuck from the Maggots. Tell us a little bit about the tour. I know you've been on 2 previous ones with the Maggots. Let us hear a little bit about what touring with this club is like.
It's full of chaos and fun. That's one way of summing it up. Right now, with the language barrier, we're having a little bit tougher time than other tours due to the fact that, you know, it's not just easy come, easy go. You need the interpreter. But we're playing kind of our typical maggot ball. We need to find a couple guys to step in and start straightening things up a bit.
How many matches have you guys
We've just played one. We're just starting out, and that was kind of a get the feel of everybody on the team on, you know, because we got a lot of mixed match people from different groups, different clubs that are coming to us, and the continuity just isn't right now. But we had a chance, and the fitness kind of.
What's the next match for you guys?
The next match is in Ag tomorrow. So hopefully we can get a little bit of time together with all the boys, get some things lined up, and see if we can pull one out here.
All right, sounds good. You've been around the Maggots for a very long time. Tell us a little bit of just a basic history of what this club's all about.
The Maggots started out in 1977. It was a university group that when I started playing in 1969, and too many of us were not in school anymore, and we decided there were enough people around Missoula to start another team, so we started the Maggots. We used to do a lot of playing in Canada, and the Canadians used to say, "Here come those bloody maggots." So we decided that should be our name. And in 77 we started the team, and actually this is the 6th international tour that I've been on.
Wow, what were the previous? I've only been on 2 previous international ones with the Maggots.
In 1978 we went to New Zealand. We had an old coach that was from there and helped set up the end of the tour and the New Zealand end of it. And Tubby Thompson, Rex Thompson was his name. And in 1980 we went to the Bahamas, and from there we made a connection in England with the team. So 1983 we went to England. I had to retire from playing in 87 because I crushed some vertebrae in my neck, but I made another tour to the Cayman Islands in 91 with the team, and then 2003 I went to Australia, and now I'm here. And the next tour is planned. International tour is planned for 2011 World Cup in Australia or in New Zealand.
All right, now, how are you enjoying this tour? I know it's going to be one of those things that's a little bit difficult, but what's the spirit like amongst the group?
The spirit is good. There's once in a while a little tension, maybe from lack of sleep. Personalities aren't always the same when you go on tour, but every tour we've gone on, there has always been a little tension, but the basic overall attitude of Maggots is we'll overcome all the tension because we're all a family. And in families, you see tension even at the dinner table. So we just, the idea is to have fun and go on tour and see some games and play some games, and the spirit is, there's a Maggot, like I say, a Maggot family, and that spirit goes throughout, no matter if we pull in players from other towns, because they come along because they know it's a Maggot tour and it will be fun.
Any message for the Maggots back home in Missoula?
You're missing it, guys. Those of you that aren't here, you're missing it.
In addition to being one of the drivers, tour, you have a very important position. You are the presiding judge of the Kangaroo Court for the tour?
Yes, I am. Being the judge is an extremely important part. We do have, like any family, you have to have laws. As Aaron was explaining, this is one big family. But sometimes you have to put some rules in place.
And give us a couple of ideas of some of the rules that are going on.
Well, there's no glass on the bus. Safety reasons, of course. You have a bunch of people that are fairly rambunctious, and you don't want anybody to get seriously injured.
And what's the penalty for glass on the bus?
Well, you end up drinking. Most of the time, a standard penalty would be down in one on a can of beer to fill it out. You got to then, once you've finished your beer, you've got to make sure it's completely empty. Throw it off the roof of the van, bus, whatever you happen to be driving in, and continue on.
Now, what about the hats? What's the penalty for that? Not having your hat?
Hats can be very, very wide-ranging, just depending upon how blatant it is. Losing hats, of course, can incur much more stiff penalties, such as buying rounds, buying beers, and doing shots and drinks for everyone.
And what's sort of the ultimate penalty, say, for something like vomiting on the bus?
Vomiting on the bus is definitely another rule that there again is for the safety of everyone on the bus, mostly the driver, so that I don't get involved with that same action. Once we find a violator of that law, we tend to sit them down. Everybody that was involved, and in this case, even though they may be in different buses, as long as you're on tour, there's probably going to be a haircut involved. The haircuts are not going to be necessarily the nicest ones. We get a rusty pair of scissors, and we start to, each person gets one snip from whatever part they choose.
And that doesn't really produce the best-looking coif in the end, does it?
Not so much, and that's part of the idea. Everybody's kind of down on negative reinforcement these days, but sometimes negative reinforcement is the best way to go.
And what's the most severe penalty that you've received?
I've so far avoided the haircuts. I've been pretty good on that end. I have done several down-in-ones, some of them unintentional, some of them intentional. The other portion of that is when you go on tour, you are responsible for your wives and dogs. So, there again, your significant other can put you in a predicament where you end up having to pay the penalty.
And has that happened to you so far on this tour?
Yes, it has. I had the pleasure of learning on the fly with my wife. She saw the beer can throwing, thought that looked like a lot of fun, didn't realize it had to go off the roof, and didn't realize also that you had to drink your own beer to start the whole process. Rookie mistake, and I paid. And everybody was more than happy to make sure that I knew about it.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Thanks, Tori. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Brownie.
Okay, I'm now with Rory O'Rourke, former captain of the Maggots, now living elsewhere in an undisclosed location in America. But, Rory, explain some of the things. We see everybody wearing cowboy hats and a few berets. What's that all about?
Well, we had some rules that were set before the tour. And just to have some clothing that would, I guess, identify us. And we went down to Australia in 2003. The hats were a big hit, not only just from, people around us, but also just to make it easier for us to identify ourselves. And now that we're here in France, we wanted to have a little bit of a French thing to it, so the berets came into it. And yes, that's my beer right there, yep.
Now, also, I don't see Laird around, but I know he's wearing the leader jersey. Explain a little bit about that.
I can do that because I earned that in 2003, and I haven't yet. The leader jersey is for someone on the tour party who just is an exceptional partier and really just strides out ahead of everyone else and does something exceptional and gets the leader jersey to show just to show their stuff. So usually a special kind of jersey, and that's what they have.
Can you earn the leader jersey more than once on tour?
I haven't, but yes, you can.
I'm here now with Aaron Laird, and Laird, you and I have played rugby together for a long time, and I got to say, you're looking absolutely stunning in the leader jersey.
Well, thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that.
Tell us a little bit about how you earn the jersey.
Lots and lots of drinking, unfortunately. I had a birthday yesterday on tour, and it snuck up and got me.
And how old was that for you?
37.
37. Wow, you are getting old.
Yes, sir. Feel old today.
How's the playing been so far in the match against Scoof?
Little out of shape and a little low on numbers, but I thought we represented pretty well. Looking forward to the game tomorrow.
Now I know you've played for a lot of different clubs, and you're playing now down in the Bay Area. What's it like getting back together with the Maggots after being out of town for a while?
It's a pleasure. It's a family, and that's the only way I can describe it. A great bunch of guys. I was able to also bring my wife, which was nice, and
also a better sider.
Yes, a player as well. So it's been a great time so far for us.
All right, thanks, Aaron.
Yep, cheers. Thanks, Matt.
I'm here now with Kelly Morrison. Kelly has a very, very important job on this tour, and that's babysitter organizer.
Yes, it's like herding cats. It's definitely babysitting.
Now, this tour is a little bit different because we have got some other people from other clubs. We've got more better siders on than we've ever had on a tour before. Explain a little bit how it all came together.
It was, pretty much organized chaos. I sent the email out to everyone. We had a lot of women respond. A lot of people couldn't come up with the money. The Maggots, of course, are always on tour, so we had a lot of Maggots respond, and at the end, a lot of them couldn't come up with the money. So,
how many people on tour total?
Total at our high point will be 44 people.
That is an awfully large group. How are you dealing with all the issues? I saw you this morning looking a little bit stressed.
I drink a lot.
Brownie's Rugby Bunker will be right back after this.
Brownie's Rugby Bunker is brought to you by World Rugby Shop, your destination for all Rugby World Cup 2007 gear with jerseys for every participating nation. Visit worldrugbyshop.com today to get your France 2007 gear.
David Kirk, New Zealand. Nick Farr-Jones, Australia. Francois Pinard, South Africa. John Eales, Australia. Martin Johnson, England. Who will captain this year's winner in Paris, France? Be a part of the biggest celebration of the world's greatest game. Visit worldrugbyshop.com today and get ready.
Welcome back to Brownie's Rugby Bunker at the 2007 Rugby World Cup.
Jamie, you know our sponsor is World Rugby Shop, where you can get all your jerseys and T-shirts for all the teams in the tournament. And as a courtesy from them, I'd like to award you with this USA T-shirt.
Well, thank you very much. We in the team want to thank you. And you know what? I hope you don't think this shows some lack of appreciation for what you've done. But you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to give this T-shirt to our tour organizer and leader, Kelly. She has done so much work. There she is. I'm going to give this to Kelly. She's done a lot of work for all of us on this tour, and that's only the beginning of what we're going to show her for our appreciation.
Oh, thank you.
Now I've got Sherry Beckett. She is the coach of the better side in Missoula, the women's rugby team there. And I had the fine opportunity of helping her out a little bit as an assistant coach a couple of years ago and really enjoyed my time. I noticed there are a lot of better siders on this tour. That's a new thing for the Maggots.
Well, I think there's 10 on tour. The last time I was on tour was '83 in England, and we had 5. But I think this is the first time that very many women have returned to tour, and part of it is just that we had plenty of warning, 2 years, and as we started seeing each other added to the list, it started becoming more intriguing, and I just started thinking about how much fun it was going to be. We're already planning the next one.
Is it tough? I was talking to some of the women last night in the bar while we were doing research. I mean, and they said that it's tough sometimes standing on the sideline watching the guys play, and then you almost have enough where you could get out and maybe play some 7s or 10s.
In hindsight, we should have scheduled a game, but I think you start getting busy through the summer and it just kind of goes out of your head, and the Maggots were having a little bit of a trouble scheduling matches, so. And there's always a language barrier.
Yeah, a little tough. How are you dealing with that?
S'il vous plaît. Bonjour.
Bonsoir.
Au revoir.
It looks like you've got all the basics down.
That's about it.
Rugby men, they play too. They would rather drink than screw. With a knick-knack, paddywhacks, and the boys away. Women's rugby's what we play. Rugby men, they play 3. They just use their dicks to pee. With a knick-knack, paddywhacks, and the boys away. Women's rugby's what we play. Rugby men, they play 4. They can get it up to score. With a knick-knack, paddywhacks, and the boys away. Women's rugby's what we play. Rugby men, they play 5. They would rather drink than dive. With a knick-knack, paddywhacks, and the boys away. Women's rugby's what we play. Rugby men, they play 6. Little boys with little dicks. With a knick-knack, paddywhacks, and the boys away. Women's rugby's what we play. Rugby men, they play 7. They think masturbation's heaven. With a knick-knack, paddywhacks, and the boys away. Women's rugby's what we play. Rugby men, they play 8. Always early, never late. With a knick-knack, paddywhacks, and the boys away. Women's rugby's what we play. Rugby men, they play 9. They think their orgasm's mine. With a knick-knack, paddywhacks, and the boys away. Women's rugby's what we play. Rugby men, they play 10. Little boys who think they're men. With a knick-knack, paddywhacks, and the boys away.